That's good. That's good. All right.
I'm going to call this meeting to order. I'm going to call the meeting to order. Welcome to the greatest Lions Club in the world. Can we get the door closed over there, please? Mr. Sound Effects. Continue eating. Go ahead and continue eating, but stand up at the same time. We're going to do our pledge and our prayer. So we need to have you stand up for just a moment, please. So, Shirley, would you like to come forward to give our invocation? That way you're on our camera. Bob, come forward so you can be seen at home. Welcome to everybody here, as well as welcome everybody at home from Zoom. Oh, right over here, Bob. Yes, sir. It's just like you're on television.
Okay. Please bow your head. Our Heavenly Father, we are so blessed for all your numerous blessings each day. We thank you for our family, our friends, our doctors, our first responders. We thank you as Lions for all the efforts that we are able to provide to help those who are in need or less fortunate than we are. This Thanksgiving is a pleasant time for all of us. Amen.
Amen.
Thank you, Lion Bob. And now for our pledge, Lion Brian's going to do a selfie.
I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America,
and to the republic
and to the
which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Very good. And now for our song, Lion Mike Hicks.
Yeah, why don't you hear those lions roar? Don't you hear those lions roar? You can hear them roaring every week as you see them proud for more. Don't you hear those lions roar? Their snarling, grumbling roar. So roar, lions, fight 'em, fight 'em, fight 'em. Don't you hear those lions? Hear those lions? Hear those lions roar. All
right. Don't quit your day job. Thank you very much, everybody, for coming. How are you? Happy Thanksgiving. What a beautiful meal we have here today. So if you have not remembered, please pay Lion Annette for your meal here today. It's $8 and for this beautiful meal. So nice. Thank you. And guests for today, Lion Deliris, would you like to introduce your guest?
So his name is Marco. He was in the Navy, and then he was smart enough to change to the Army.
Hey!
But it's true. He was in the Navy, and then he was in the Army. He retired, and he's a veteran. He lives in El Paso. His residence is in El Paso, and hopefully he becomes a lion.
Lion Bob, would you like to introduce your guest, please?
This is my lovely wife, Shirley.
Hey! DJ John, would you like to introduce your guest?
My boss, my special guest this week is my lovely wife.
Yay! Permanent dinner guest. Moving along, PDG Jim, would you like to introduce your guest?
Fellow Lions,
this coming Monday, we will be celebrating our 59th wedding anniversary.
You've been married longer than I've been alive.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
59 years this coming Monday.
Whoa, good, good.
What's you gonna throw you out?
My forgiveness on your Julia, sorry about that. Okay. Sandy, Lion Sandy, your guest, please.
My guest today is my friend Tony Sophia.
Welcome, Tony. And have I missed anybody? Our line Mike, you'll be introduced here with your guests shortly, and our speaker will be introduced shortly, and everybody else is a lion. So, okay, online now. We have a guest, our distinguished District Governor, Frank Heslin.
I'm very happy to be here. I'm outside because we suddenly remembered that Linda's about to have choir practice inside the house. So we wanted to be able to hear each other. And I want to tell you, I have a special presentation, and I'll present it physically on the last Friday of January. But for now, take a look at this. El Paso Downtown Lions Club earned the Club Excellence Award for the year that ended on June 30th. So the patch on the left is for your banner, and the pin on the right is for your bus line. I can't remember who was bus line last year. Does anybody know who was? Oh, that might have been Brian. Congratulations. No,
Hey guys, we did it, we did it.
it's a tremendous accomplishment. Congratulations.
So happy to hear that. Thank you for telling us. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Club Excellence Award. We did it. Okay, I see Nancy. I think, is that Richardson is here, Lion Sandy. You have your friend Nancy Richardson online on Zoom. Great, thank you for coming. And Lion Rick. I see Rick's iPad, but I don't see Rick's face. I don't know if you can hear me or not. Rick, would you like to introduce your guest, Sharon?
Wake up, Rick.
Maybe. You never know. Okay, if he comes back, we'll talk to him.
Hi, everybody. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Hi, I've got Sharon in the other part of the room. I'm kind of double tasking today. I've got my iPad and my computer going. So anyway, have a good meeting, guys.
Thank you, thank you. And hi, Lion Mark, past President Mark. So we're happy to see everybody. Thanks for coming from home. All right then. Health and welfare. I know you have a card going around for Lionette and her husband Barry. If you haven't signed it, please sign it for a loss in their family. Our condolences. Any other persons that you know of that we need to pray for health and welfare? Okay, having heard none, I'll go on to our announcements. December 3rd, our speaker is going to be from El Paso Health Department again about emergency preparedness. So we're going to learn about how bioterrorism, our city is preparing for bioterrorism and any other type of emergency that the city might incur. We're doing another vision screening on November 30th. Our Salvation Army bell ringing days are December 11th and 18th. I'm trying to twist our new member Tom and Mike's arm to be in charge of that. Where are we reading the bell that this year? At Sila Vista Sands on November 11th and 18th from 10 to 6. That's Sam's. Sam's.
I just wanted to know where you're sending me.
Where are you bulletproof vest? You'll have your emergency preparedness class by then. So you'll know what to do.
And the Lion's vest is bulletproof.
And we have our Salvation Army Christmas party, December 21st. It's a Tuesday at noon at the Salvation Army Family Center on Paisano. And we'll be sending you a list out of all the children's sizes and sexes, boy or girl, so we can get a present for them. We don't have it yet. They're getting it assembled. Of course, our parade is Thursday. We're scrambling right now, trying to get everything done. I know Lion Lamont is working on our float. We're trying to move it sideways right now, believe it or not, because it's in our float barn and the door is a little bit crooked and to the side too much. And so we're getting some rolling jacks so that we can move it sideways so we can get it out. So that's our task Saturday. Tomorrow we'll be working on the float. We need to vote. I need someone to make a motion that we vote to cancel our meeting next Friday.
I move that we cancel our meeting next Friday.
And we have a second. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed?
No!
Motion carries. So we won't be here next Friday, the 26th. So don't vote Alliance next Friday. I don't know. We'll probably have to have a personal meeting. I don't know. Okay, pecans. I have some more pecans here. If you have sold any extra, if you'd like to pick up some pecans, $11 a bag, 1 pound bag. I've got an extras here to sell. Okay, then. There's nothing else. Okay, I can't see anything else.
Keep going.
All right. The next thing we're going to have is my favorite thing to do is an induction ceremony of a new member. So I'd like to call PDG John forward to perform the ceremony. Try to use the camera.
In the right place? Ryan, am I in the right place?
Give me a second. Yeah, you're in the right place.
Fellow Lions, this normally is 8 pages. I've distilled it down to 2. So that we get invited back to this place. But if I could get Past President Mike and his brother Tom to come forward, please. Put Tom in the middle. I'll try not to read this, but I'll refer to it. Tom, you're becoming a part of a distinguished service history that dates back to 1917, when Lions Clubs International started as a dream of a Chicago businessman named Melvin Jones, who thought that business organizations should serve others, not just themselves. In 1925, Helen Keller addressed our international convention, asked us to be Knights of the Blind, and I wasn't back there then, but I think Jack was. I know people. And the Lions picked up when I accepted it, and we've been involved in a lot of vision activities since that time. Now, I know that the Hicks family has made great benefits to Lions. I knew your dad is a Lion, your brother Jim is a Lion, and your brother Mike is a Lion, Past President Mike, who runs our very successful golf tournament. I don't golf, I do. And our very successful brisket smoking. So you kind of have big shoes to fill in here. Okay, so much for the BS. Now we get into the serious stuff. Tom, since you've expressed a desire to affiliate with this club with Lions Clubs International, I now ask you to respond to my words with a simple "I do" or "I will." 2 questions. Do you hereby accept membership in the El Paso Downtown Lions Club, knowing that you are encouraged to participate in functions of the club? I do. To the best of your ability, do you abide by the Lions Code of Ethics, attend meetings whenever possible, and contribute your share to the programs of your club, district, and Lions Clubs International?
I do. Once my employer agrees. No.
You're now officially a member of the El Paso Downtown Lions Club.
Sign him.
Do we have it? Yeah, there you go.
Está bueno, ¿no?
And here's your pen. Give this to
And do we have
Mike.
do we have a pin?
Have a pen for the sponsor. the certificate of membership for the new member.
Okay, past president Mike is pinning his new member.
Done.
And I'm going to ask, you can have this.
Thank you.
I'm going to ask your sponsor and actually the rest of the members of the club to respond to some questions here with a simple, I will. Hello?
That's Giovanni.
Will you fulfill your obligations by being a member, Renew Lions? Will you make your new member feel welcome? Will you introduce your new member to all club members?
We will.
Will you provide your new member with information about the club, its officers, and constitution?
We will.
Will you arrange for orientation sessions for your new member?
Well,
It's kind of weird. Will you be ready and willing to answer any questions that might arise?
will.
You encourage your new member to discuss with you any problems and other possible solutions.
We will.
Will you assist your new member in developing into an outstanding lion?
We will.
Okay. At this point, if Lion Susan Boss, if you would give that to the
We
sponsor.
have a sponsor certificate for Lion Mike and a sponsor pen. We're so proud that you sponsored a new member in our club. We give you a little pin, and we give you a little certificate.
Now, while she's doing that, I'm gonna talk to Tom.
Well, play with his chest
Fellow
there.
Lion Tom, wear your emblem with pride to represent your membership in the world's largest service organization, an association that has a distinguished legacy of meeting needs worldwide. Let me congratulate you and welcome you to the greatest of all service organizations, the International Association of Lions Clubs. We have a tradition in this club whereby new members get 5 minutes to talk about anything they want. They can brag about their family, their school, their work, their education. Not about, well, you can actually brag about what your kid did on the golf course or what school you went to now. But if you do it any other time, you get fined.
First, I'd just like to ask, do you guys want the political speech or do you want the natural speech? Because my dad taught me in both. No, I just want to say I'm honored to be a new Lion. My brother has been pushing me, for the longest time. Not only is my family here, born and raised in El Paso, my dad, Mike, myself, we were all born at Southwest General Hospital. And so we have a long heritage. My mom was fortunately from Dane, Wisconsin. My dad had to import her in to get somebody to actually accept him. But she was a staunch little German woman that always carried a smile. And they taught us to be very strong in the community, to love our fellow man, to take care of those that are in need. And I hope that I can fill those shoes, because those were some of the last words that my dad told me when he was moving on to greater life. But on the same note, I'm one that won't throw myself forward, but if you ask me to do something, I'll go 100 miles an hour once I accept it. And I don't mean to run over you, but I'm one of those that just keeps on treading, trying to make it. I've got a hand in the audience. I've never had a question in an introduction.
Yeah, Tom, you went over your time limit.
I don't like him.
I hang around with Mike.
I don't like him either. But just so you know, I have 2 kids, or 2 children here on earth. I have one that passed away at the age of 15. But it's one of those where my son he went to Franklin High School, also went to Texas A&M. And he was probably a better golfer than Noah, if you know Mike's son. But it's okay. They're a good challenge. They love each other and they take care of each other. And And then also my daughter, she also graduated from A&M. And she graduated in industrial distribution. She will be getting married in May 21st of this year. No, she's an Aggie, and she's marrying an Aggie. And we're actually going to College Station for the wedding. So, it'll be really, really, really nice to see that. Also to mention my son, I'm going to be a grandfather at the end of January, my first grandson. And
This is where we play the music.
and so, it
gets louder and louder.
The hair's getting gray, and also the last thing I have to push out there, I am married to a Dow from Dow's Home Furnishings. She's one of the owners, so if you all need anything for appliances, you're more than welcome. You're more than welcome to go to the store now. Do not ask me to sell you anything, okay? I do not sell appliances and furniture. I'm the other guy. I do on the side. But on the same note, my wife, she is very, very strong in the community. With her dad having the business for almost 65 years, and Yazbek and Rosie, God rest his soul, Yazbek. He was a very strong person in the community, believed in El Paso, and Rosie's still kicking and at 93. Her birthday was Sunday. So like I said, I'm very entrenched in the community. The Lions Club, everything that I've seen is entrenched in the community and to help those that are in need. And that's where my heart sits. So anything you need, please don't hesitate.
What are we gonna do? 2 Hicks in our Lions Club. All right, then, for our next thing on our agenda then today is our program. Lion Brian, will you come and introduce our program?
I will. So, Deborah Grado Pistella was born and raised in El Paso, Texas. After graduating from Loretto Academy, she attended the University of Houston to pursue a degree in hotel and restaurant management with specialization in special events. Out of curiosity, she took up yoga in 2011, developed a love for the physical and emotional health that practicing yoga gave her. And she went on to graduate U of H, immediately began a career in wedding planning and festival management out there in Houston. All the while continuing to practice yoga, loving the stress relief, flexibility, and strength it gave her. Then, in 2015, she tired of Houston and missing home. So she moved back to El Paso, continuing working festival management and planning to start her own wedding planning business. But she again started taking yoga classes, and in 2011 took meditation classes. And she loved it all so much that she began taking yoga instructor training and to practice meditation in 2017. And in 2019, she completed her yoga teacher training with 500 hours of training in advance and became a registered yoga teacher with the Yoga Alliance. Deb obviously is a new mom and continues to enjoy teaching all levels of yoga and specializes in working with special populations. So,
The grandpa test.
It's a hunger test.
So yes, so nice to see you all. Yes, little Eddie here online as well. Brian did a wonderful job with that introduction, and it does pretty much sum up I call it my love affair with yoga. It's been over a decade, and it goes up and down, and some days I'm completely obsessed, and other days I just don't want to move. Throughout my pregnancy, I actually was doing yoga up until the day before she was born. Elia was born June 2nd, 2021, so she'll be 6 months December. And yeah, I feel like yoga definitely helped with my comfort management. I'd like to think it helped make her a really nice baby. She does also enjoy doing yoga, and so she can do it. I promise all of you all can do it. So moving into her little presentation. the history and the background, we pretty much already went through it. I have been doing yoga for over 10 years and started meditating in 2017. Meditation is by far one of the most challenging things that I've probably done. Being able to sit still and to just observe your thoughts and breathe works wonders. Stress relief, understanding your feelings, your thoughts, your emotions. And so, what is yoga? You have the physical postures, which are typically what you see. Sometimes you see these pretzel-like figures and you sit in over it. Sometimes it's this beautiful warrior two or a tree pose balancing on one leg. And those physical poses are what they call asanas, and that is to take care of the physical body. It can also be done sitting in a chair. It is wheelchair accessible. It is accessible to a It can, of course, be done on the ground, but when I offer in a chair, which is one of my favorite things to do, it is amazing how much you can access in the chair. And so if we're up for it, even though it seems like everyone will probably be digesting, we could do some at the end. Breathing exercises, which is another side of this yoga world, is called your pranayama. We take over 72,000 breaths a day. It is an involuntary practice, but if we can take the time to actively and mindfully take those breaths, it can actually work wonders with our bodies, our minds, our souls. The way to understand your emotions is also through your breath. If you think of when you get anxious, when you get frustrated, the breath quickens, we get a little hot, we get flustered. But quite the same thing happens when we're happy. It does get short, but we experience the same thing on opposite ends. When we're calm and relaxed, we have slower, deeper breaths. And so our breath will tell our story. And if we can learn how to understand and work with our breath, we can actually manage ourselves much better. And that, of course, strengthens the respiratory organs and the inside of the body. Of course, relaxation techniques are a great part as well, to calm the body, the mind, to even help sleep, things like that. And at the end, the best part of yoga is shavasana, which is basically like an adult nap time. Here we have what is yoga, a 4-year-old explaining it.
I'm sorry? Oh, it's changing here. I'm sorry. Just a second.
That the breathing controls relaxation, or relaxation comes first?
Both
It's
ways.
changing here.
The body and the mind will communicate in both directions. And so if you are feeling stressed, you can start to breathe to induce relaxation. But if you're also relaxed, the body will naturally breathe deeper. You can kind of think of it like a yawn. And so typically we take yawns when we're getting tired. And so it'll go both ways for communication. So you gotta do that. Any other questions?
Is that your studio?
I wish. Right now with the pandemic, my studio is in our house. I use one of the bedrooms and so a computer. Other than that, and this will all time perfectly, I teach at the Rio Grande Cancer Foundation once a week, and they're located down on Virginia, right off of Wyoming. So I go there, but for the most part, I'm still pretty much online. I did teach for the Golden Age program at UTEP, and then the program didn't continue this year, but that was in person at the gym in UTEP. I also have a woman that we do yoga every Thursday. She's 85 years old, and we do chair yoga, and it is incredible. She can still balance on one leg. She can still bend down and grab things. She can manage to take a fall and pick herself right back up. And so the yoga has made a grand difference with her. The other thing that yoga, of course, brings is the benefits. Oh, yes, there it is. So what is yoga? A 4-year-old explains. Okay, so yoga is just, you breathe in and out like this, and you start doing slow karate. And which it is basically the best description of what it is. It is deep breathing and slow, intentional movements. Next, for the general benefits of yoga, of course, physically in your body, you will have flexibility. You will find balance, strength, and awareness of your body. It is really incredible how it helps to know exactly where we are in space. So that proprioception, to be able to reach and grab, or to be able to touch or get to your feet. It is exercise for the mind. It provides the mental benefits. So the stress management was one of the biggest things that made me fall in love with it, to help cope with confusion, anxiety, to, of course, stress, being overwhelmed. And right now, especially as a new mom, I can't physically move as much as I can. And so the breathing is where I tap into being able to relax myself, especially on the days that I feel overwhelmed. It promotes peace and calm. It can boost self-esteem and improve relaxation and quality of sleep. Inspires connection between the body, the mind, and the spirit, and of course enhances the overall quality of life. Yoga is mindfulness and movement, and it is said that the secret, of course, is just awareness of ourselves. And the more we can be aware of ourselves, the more we become aware of our surroundings, of one another, and just the awareness of being. We are so used to just doing, that the act of being can be quite challenging. Bliss and connection are gifts that yoga offers. And so yoga, the word, means to yoke, and yoke is to create union, to find connection. So through the connection and through the movement, we are able to experience these states of bliss, of complete safety and security, of stability, of happiness, of wholeness, peace, presence, and the list can honestly go on and on and on. As I mentioned, I love to work with special populations, and so I prefer, of course, older groups. I do love chair yoga. The Cancer Foundation and working with cancer patients has been incredibly insightful, rewarding, and it's a way to even just kind of face something that you fear in general, and being able to overcome it and helping others overcome it is quite great. Chair yoga is one of my favorite things. And then again, yoga can be for everyone. It doesn't have to mean you're going to bend into a pretzel or have to touch your toes. You just start.
Chair yoga means you're sitting in the chair when you're doing your yoga?
You are sitting in the chair when doing yoga, or you can stand behind the chair, holding the chair to balance. You move around in the chair, things like that. But you can utilize the chair in all sorts of ways. A big one that I use now is actually laying on the floor and propping my legs up on the chair to invert them. And so you'll use the chair in surprising ways other than just sitting in it. But yes, to stand in balance is a great tool as well. If you would like some chair yoga, we can briefly do some. Everyone's up there. We'll try it. Okay. So I'll do everything as if I was sitting, but don't worry. What you're going to do first, if your legs are crossed, begin to uncross them. Yes, thank you. So quite often, of course, it's nice to sit with your legs crossed, but once we cross the legs, that natural flow kind of gets crossed as well. So you can think of a traffic jam. If things aren't moving smoothly, or if there's kind of a bump or something in the road, that's your cross. So you want to uncross the legs, and plant your feet firmly on the ground. Ideally, if you can have your knees above your ankles, great. If not, if they dangle a bit because of the height of the chair, that's fine. The hands, just let them rest on your lap. The palms can face up or down. Good. Then your choice, you can lean into the back of the chair to find some support, or you can already start to challenge the strength in your body and lean off of that support and use your core, which is surprisingly challenging because Andy, I just learned to sit this week and she still gets the wobbles. So from here, I invite you to either keep the eyes open or trust me and my voice and close your eyes. Yeah, it's up to you, whatever you're more comfortable with. Then, before we do anything, I just want you to acknowledge how you feel. So for most of you, this is probably the first time doing yoga of any sort. And it can quickly be this feeling of anxiousness of what am I doing? Why did I say that we could try it? Or maybe you're quite excited. You can also acknowledge your breath. Typically, it does tend to be short and shallow in the chest area. Then take a deep breath in through the nose. Sigh out through the mouth. Another deep breath in, and this time shrug your shoulders up towards your ears. Find any tension, any stress, any heaviness, and exhale, let it out. Roll the shoulders down the back and release the breath out through the mouth. Good. Then fill up with even more air this time. Let the belly expand like a balloon as you breathe in. Again, move the shoulders up towards your ears. Then exhale, sigh it out. Roll the shoulders down the back, and again, let the arms relax. Immediately notice how it's as if you've removed this heavy backpack. Your choice to continue to keep the eyes closed. It just helps you also become more aware of what you're feeling in the body, or by all means, open them. You'll start to bring your hands onto your knees, so palms will face down, and we'll start with some seated cat-cows. On your inhale, you'll draw the heart forward, arch your spine, reach the chin up, stretch through your throat and all along the front side of your body. Then as you exhale, curl your spine, draw your chin towards your chest, and find a nice stretch between the shoulders and down the spinal column. And then just keep rolling in and out here. A very nice, quick way to get throughout the back. So if you're doing a lot of sitting, if you're working things like that at a desk, cat-cows are a quick way to tap into the entire nervous system because you get through the entire spinal column, as well as to just reset for your back. It's a good way to also just warm up all those muscles of the back as they start to get colder, especially in the winter or of course with age. Then from here, you'll slow that movement down. Bring your hands to heart center. On the next inhale, reach your arms up overhead so that you find that stretch along your sides. And then exhale, sweep the arms out. Start to fold over your legs just as far as you can go. If something's in front of you, mind your head. And this is called a sun salutation, but of course in the chair. Take hold of your right knee, draw it up towards your chest, and lift back up to your feet. Exhale, lower back down. Switch and take hold of your left, and inhale, bring it up. So this is your equestrian pose. You have a stretch to the back of your thigh, your hip, your low back. Exhale, lower the left leg, and inhale, reverse all the way up. Reach the arms overhead, stretching through your sides, all the way up, and exhale, hands to heart, also getting through the shoulders. So this is a quick, nice, easy way to get through the whole body. We'll do one more. Inhale, get nice and tall. Exhale, fold forward. On the next inhale, grab your right leg again, draw your knee up towards your chest, invite that stretch, and then lower back down. Switch over, take hold of your left leg, and draw it up. This is also a quick way to get that blood flowing because it is some cardio to match one breath and one movement. Exhale, fold right back down, release the leg, and inhale, reach the arms up overhead. So the sun is now setting as the arms draw back together into your heart. Yeah. So sun salutations are pretty key in yoga. And so the sun rises, we move through the whole day, and then it sets right back down. And so that is just a quick, easy, simple. Does anyone want to balance? I didn't think so. But let me show that to you. If you were to balance using the support of a chair, you would come behind it, grab hold of it. You can stand completely behind the chair for more stability. You can stand off to the side for a little less and more of a challenge. For the sake of being able to see me, I'll stand to the side. Your tree pose is probably typically what you would most see, but of course, we're just going to start simple. You want to take time to just ground your whole foot. So maybe we have a tendency to lean back, sideways, forward, or to cave in on our arches. Whatever side is holding the chair or whatever side you decide to start with, you'll root that foot down. So you can almost imagine the roots of a tree growing in. The deeper the roots go, the more grounded they get, the higher the tree can go. So from there, you'll bring the opposite hand to your hip. Then press down on your hip to encourage that same rooting and lifting through the trunk, the upper part of your body. You can just start by bringing one foot off the ground. Maybe it's just to your toes. Maybe you do find some good stability. And if that happens, then you can start to open your hip. The toes can touch and the heel can come towards your ankle, and you have a nice supported tree pose. If you want more of a challenge, if that's going well, you come a little higher. You can go up all the way to the side, but I'm not going to bother to go there. Then, once you do feel nice and stable, if you still care to take it further, I promise breathing will not be the thing that knocks you off balance. Not breathing will actually challenge the balance. So you want to continue that smooth, full breath. Then, eventually, your arms will grow into your breath. You can stay here, holding the support of the chair, or maybe, again, if you find some good stability, the other can come on up. And then you breathe. And that's just one way of balancing with a chair. You can also challenge your balance with a warrior pose, your warrior three, coming behind the chair. I'm going to do the opposite way. So I'm into my right leg and start to lift my left leg back. If I can go further, I can work the forearms to the chair, the leg can lift higher. This, of course, creates balance, but it's also strengthening my glutes and my low back here. And just like that. We take a class. I don't teach one. Babies and little ones, I would much rather teach the opposite thing. The little ones, they do offer yoga, but you have to be very mindful of the attention span, their activity, and then their age groups have to be divided. But yes, her and I take yoga every other week though. Yeah. It will work wonders for children. It is amazing how much stress kids have. And again, if you can even teach them to understand their breath, it'll help them understand the things that they're feeling. And so it is really great. I've done it before to teach it. It's not for me to teach. I'll take it, but I won't teach it.
They have a weekly chair yoga class here.
Oh, good. Is that with Blake? Blake?
I'm not sure.
I think it might be. He used to be the one that taught here. Does he have long hair?
No, they have a variety of activities.
Good. It's helpful.
Have you ever seen yoga used for people who have a condition like cancer and form of additional treatment for that condition?
Yes. So that is part of what I personally love to do. I work specifically one-on-one with active cancer patients, and then also in group form. It is a great added therapy to whatever you're going through. Physically, the body will store trauma and emotions, and if we don't cope or feel emotions or work through the body, then they do get trapped in the body. Then that's where you start to feel and find physical ailments, physical discomfort. Yes, it could purely be physical, but I most often find there is an underlying emotion, and usually once we start to move with it and we tap into, we can dive way into the yoga, into the energy and the breathing and all of the things, then we can, in a sense, like an onion, we start to peel away the layers, and then we can get to the root of the things that are going on, and it can create the confidence to push through that journey. It can also bring understanding as well as healing. And so I'm glad that you've asked. I've had patients with lung cancer, and the breath that we've done, he told me that he found a lot more benefits with understanding how to breathe through what I showed him from the yoga perspective than what he learned through the physical therapy perspective. And to me, it's because yoga just considers the whole person versus just the physical.
Okay, you said you teach yoga online?
Yes. So I teach a class online on Tuesdays and Thursdays that's sponsored by the Family Resiliency Center, which is funny that you mentioned the shooting because that's the class that I teach on Tuesdays and Thursdays at 5:30. It's pretty gentle, and so if anyone's interested, that would be a great class to try. Otherwise, Wednesdays at 2 p.m. at the Cancer Foundation, I'm there. But you're probably asking, how do I teach online? Yeah. It's different. At first, it kind of threw me way off. And then once I got the hang of it, I noticed with my golden age population, they actually advanced way more at home than they did in person. I don't know if it's because of the fact that you're in a space that's comfortable, and that I could say, grab a chair, grab things that we didn't have access to. And I was able to also get a little more creative with what we could do. And so I had been with them 2 years before the pandemic, and we had done good work. But then within 6 months of pandemic, we were doing things that I'd never thought we'd be able to do. And so it's quite accessible. It just takes, to me, a lot of discipline to be able to focus online.
Very good.
Great.
Thank you for coming. I feel great. I feel much better.
Good. Oh, thank
Here's
you.
a little appreciation certificate for you and a little bag of goodies that was
Oh my
homemade
goodness.
from Lion Levon, our study partner.
Just real quick, Mike Ernie didn't do it, so he had to stay out here and do all of it himself. I was doing it with my eyes closed.
Thank you so much for your presentation. We learned a lot.
I appreciate that. Another way, I'm honestly amazed that she is doing. So
I know it. I know it.
She hears her mama.
That was my nice to pick
she
me up.
hears me, but to be honest, she loves yoga. And anytime I talk about it, anytime I breathe deeply, anytime I cue and have the movements, it soothes her. And so, to be honest, just her being calm throughout all of this is a good example of what yoga does.
Well, and I was commenting earlier on kids, one of the basic techniques that we teach at the daycare center, when a child is injured, when they're upset, when they're doing the crying, the biggest thing that we try to get them to do is start to breathe. Okay, breathe, and as they breathe, and the next thing, of course, is let's wash your face. Once they settle down, then you can figure out what's going on. But the breathing technique for kids is, I mean, a godsend when it comes to settling them down and getting them. The other thing I was going to say is there actually is a class, and Susan might be talking a little bit about this. There's an actual curriculum that they can use both in daycare centers. It's called developmental gymnastics, but it's more similar to what some of the different things you're doing. You get the kids to try to control different parts of their body, and they learn to do just a kind of basic somersault. They learn to be able to balance. They learn to be able to pick up one leg or the other leg. And for a child, be able to do and get an awareness of that thing. There's all kinds of things going on in the brain. I could talk to you about it for hours, but nevertheless.
So it's interesting you mentioned the breath. The reason the breath is so beneficial, what happens when we breathe from our diaphragm, it stimulates the vagus nerve. And the vagus nerve is the largest nerve stemming from our brain and throughout our nervous system. And when that's lit up, it automatically fires the rest and digest, the parasympathetic side of the system. And so the fight or flight actively tunes down, and then, yeah, you could go on and on, but when it comes to breath, that's what happens, you tap into the nervous system.
Helps every age group. Very good.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Some of us may be coming into your class. We want Brian to go to your class.
We'll take our notes. I don't know how much we have.
Oh, really? I know.
I've been skipping school since high school.
Take a deep breath, everybody. We're gonna call the raffle numbers out now. First number is 845. 845. He's the lucky winner. All right, Lion Delirious.
Well, actually, it was Orlando, so I'm gonna get it for him.
Yeah, yeah. And the next number is 827. There you go. It pays to play.
Chair bells.
Right. Number 877. Who's the lucky winner? Number 877. No, he didn't win. If you need 36 pins, you got a box of them now.
First time. First time.
Mine thing.
I'm gonna get you a box of 50 Nestle rich chocolate milk mixed in it.
There you go. Oh, just one? Here you go.
840. 840. And Miss Candy, come on up. Come on down. And 843. 843.
Oh, I don't have that one.
Okay.
Oh, I get you.
We want a book report next week. No, don't come next week. Thank you, Lions Lady, for the raffle items, and
Actually, thank you, Carlos, John, and Susan for all the raffle items.
all right, well, for setting it all up and bringing it. Thank you very much. I don't know. I hope everybody had a really good time. It's really good seeing everybody. Thank you for coming online as well as in person. Remember, do not come to Lions next Friday, and we'll see you December 3rd. So, if there's nothing else, for the good of Lionism, we stand adjourned. Is that
All right. She was.
Now, this is very similar, isn't it? Because it really helped the kids. Have they had any school that's tried it? Has fewer physical fights and problems. It's very similar, isn't it?
It's honestly the same thing, that you just, they don't call it yoga, they call it
Yes, I understand.
but yes, exactly.
It's evidently a wonderful idea for kids. Yeah, it's so cute.
And maybe if she gets older, I'll start to develop ambitions to do it, but, so far, I just love doing it.
Oh, I understand. Good luck.